What's up, guys? Magicalibra here today, and I have got the Dark Magician deck profile. And if you did not know, I recently uploaded the same deck profile, but had to take it down due to personal issues. So we're going to re-upload it and do it right this time. Because every time I upload a deck profile, I love rewatching it. So we're going to make sure I do it right this time. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right on into the deck profile. So, starting off, and we are playing two, so don't worry. It'll be in the Dragoon package later. But, starting off for the Dark Magician deck profile, we have the Dark Magician, and we're going to go ahead and zoom on in. This way you can see the illustrious, ghost rare Dark Magician. Gotta love that art. Gotta love that art. So we're going to go ahead and put it about right there. So we have the one Dark Magician to go along with our one Dark Magician girl. And what's funny about this is I can now truthfully say that you can't play the deck without both of these cards. And that is absolutely core to the core funny, because before that would be a complete lie, and now it's not. So we have these two powerful magicians, the Master and the Apprentice. Speaking of Apprentice, we're going to go ahead and add in the girl's apprentice, or the new apprentice, and that is Apprentice, Illusion Magician. Why are we playing this card? Because it's a great card. Let me tell you what this card does. What this card does is you can discard one card to special summon it, and when it's summoned, you can add Dark Magician from your deck to your hand. So basically, this is a free special summon. It replaces the card you discard, and you get a free body on the board. Not to mention, it has another effect that while it's face up on field or in your hand, during damage calculation, you can boost one of your Dark Spellcaster monsters by 2,000 attack and defense during damage calculation. So that's not once per turn. Neither is it special summon once per turn, making it all around a broken card. But people see that discard means, oh, you neg one. Well, if you're playing two Dark Magician, you're going to get one engraved. You can at least add the other with the Apprentice. And Apprentice also works as a Dark Honest, but one step further into damage calculation. So all around, it's a great card. And it's a level 6, just in case you've got both Dark Magician Girl and Dark Magician like elsewhere, either in grave or in your hand on field, but you still got these two in the deck. That makes Magician Souls a live target, or a live activation. So all these level 6s, speaking of those Magician Souls, let's go ahead and get right into the bread and butter of the deck. The three Magician Souls are absolutely the bread. Actually, you can say Magician Souls is the soul of the deck. Sorry, Dark Magician. But this card is the best card in the deck as far as extending, because what this card does is, if you didn't know, you can activate its effect from hand to send from deck to grave as cost a level 6 or higher spellcaster monster in order to either activate one of the two effects, which when you send from deck to grave, you then declare the effect, special summon this card from your hand, or send it to grave to special summon Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl. You choose these two effects and then you resolve them. So it's pretty darn simple. And the sending from deck to grave cannot be negated. So that is also something you can't negate the cost. So that's pretty cool to help unbreak your deck. And hey, shoot, shuffle your deck, because maybe your next two top decks are yikes. The other effect of this card is, while it's face up on the field, you can send from your field or your hand, or both, up to one or two spells and traps, and or spells and traps as cost, in order to draw that many cards from your deck. So that's also pretty cool that you can do that as well. So it's a pot of greed, and it's a deck thinner as well. So that's all around why it's a really great card, and it's a free special. So it's honestly, we need more cards like this in the Dark Magician deck anyway. Next up for our Dark Magician lineup, we have three Magician's Rod. This is the Stratos of the deck. In this profile, you can technically you can cut out a rod when you side deck. So that's a little neat thing that we can do here. So what this card does is, if you didn't know, it's a Stratos. So when it's normal summoned, you can search a Dark Magician spell or trap from your deck to your hand. And it has another neat effect. While in the grave, if you activate a spell or trap during your opponent's turn, you can tribute a spellcaster monster on your field for cost, and then add this card to your hand. That way, say you don't have any in your hand, you need something for next turn besides just your top deck draw, you can definitely reassure that you get this card in your hand, normal summon it, and if it resolves, get a search that you can possibly do something else with for next turn. So that's going to be all the Dark Magician main deck lineups. So let's go ahead and go on into the Dark Magician spells. Speaking of those Magician souls from earlier, we have Soul Servant. So this is basically to serve the soul and replenish your hand by drawing 2 cards. Basically what this card does is you top deck any Dark Magician or Dark Magician related card from your hand, deck, or grave and put it right on top of your deck. Its other effect is a hard once per turn, so the effect I had just mentioned is not. You can activate that as many times as you want, so long as you have the card in your hand. Its other effect is hard once per turn, so once you use it that turn, that's it. You can't do it again, even if the effect activation gets negated, because it states you can only use it once per turn, the card name. So the other effect I'm mentioning is basically the Pot of Greed effect, where you get to draw cards equal to the monsters with different names on the field and or in the grave, which are Dark Magician Girl, and or Palladium monsters. So if you get more Palladium monsters, Konami, this means we can make this a draw 7. Let's go. There's only 2 so far. So that means this card max is a draw 4. It's only a draw 2 for us because we're only playing Dark Magician and Girl. So that's fine. It's a Pot of Greed, and it helps them the deck regardless. Next up are basically our one-ofs is the 1 Dark Magical Circle. So basically, I saw the 7th place deck profile. I tested it out like crazy, and I bricked 30% of the time and only won 70%, and I was just like, I don't know the intention of this deck. I still need to test it out more, but for the most part, I did like 50 duels, and I only won like 30, or I only lost like 30% of the time. So I went ahead and changed the deck, and ever since I changed the deck, I've been winning 90% of the time, or 85% of the time. I'm just like, yep, I like this version better. So we're gonna post it on YouTube. So they were playing 2. I bumped it down to 1. And basically, they were playing 2 Circle, 1 Eternal. I reversed it, played 2 Eternal, 1 Circle. So that's the only reason why I went all that for just that. So let's go right into the Secrets of Dark Magic. This is a card I added in. It helps go for the Dark Magicians, which is absolutely stupid, dumb, funny that the 7th place played the Dark Magicians, but the only real way to get it out was the Magicalized Fusion or the Timaeus Dragon monster. And I was just like, bruh, just play the Secrets. It's okay. You can, like, I know it's a neg 3 because 1 and then 2 fusion to make 1, so that's a neg 3. I understand, but sometimes it just works out and you win. All right, it just works out. So, anyways, Dark Magic Attack. Just get this right out of here. Just go ahead. It's Dark Magic Attack. It is our signature ace card for the deck. It more than likely will never leave the deck after I've added it in, and it will always stay here because it's Dark Magician, Dark Magic Attack, baby. Right down the middle. So, the reason why we played this card is 1, it's searchable, 2, it's a discard, and 3, it's basically just Harpy's Feather Duster, but, you know, for Dark Magician. The negative part is that it can brick you turn 1 and 2, so you don't want to see it turn 1 or 2. If you do, you want to be able to discard it somehow, so that is something you want to do. But other than that, it generally stays in the deck for me. unless my opponent like top decks it somehow when he shuffles my deck, like power shuffling or whatnot, then it could get in my hand. But generally, it just stays in my hand, so it works out for me when I play the deck. If you want to take it out, completely understand. It's searchable through Eternal Soul, Soul Servant, Magician's Rod, no, it's just mainly those three. I think there might be one more, Upstart, but the Upstart, you don't depend on that. It's just Upstart's a copy of every other card in the deck. But anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into the last Magician spell, and that is the Magician's Salvation. So basically, this card is not another copy of Eternal Soul. Unlike Upstart, it basically gets you access to another Eternal Soul specifically. Even though you're only, in that profile, you're only playing one, you need 2 Eternal Soul in order to make the deck go happy, run smoothly. So speaking of the Eternal Souls, we play 2 of those. So, you're going to need 2 Eternal Souls. Now, the other effect of Salvation is if you special DM, you can special DMG from grave and vice versa. You special DMG, you special DM from grave, like that. But that generally doesn't come up, but it can. So that's what you can do with that. But the Eternal Souls you definitely need 2 of. Because mainly whenever they get rid of your one Eternal Soul, like they banish it or destroy it, you have to depend on using cards like Soul Servant just to get it right back. And if they banish it, well, you're crap out of luck. So this is why I play 2. Even though they were to wipe my field, it's fine. I'll reset it back up. That's the whole purpose of the deck, just to reset my field back up and kill you right away. So that's going to be it for the Dark Magician main deck lineup. Let's go ahead and get into our engines. So remember how I said we played 2 Dark Magician? That's right. We have a second copy right here along with our Red Eyes Black Dragon, our Red Eyes Fusion, and our Magicalized Fusion. So you're probably saying, why am I not playing 3 Red Eyes Fusion? Well, I actually had a long talk with Loza, and I come to understand the reason for playing the 3, and I kind of already knew it a little bit, but he went in depth on it, and I kind of find more respect for it now. But I still only play it at 1. It provides 2 other cards that I could play in the deck that could provide more utility for the deck as well. So that is really the main purpose for that, is that I want more utility cards to play with, and I don't want to hard play Red Eyes Fusion simply because I don't want to just summon Dragoon, maybe set 1 card pass. I'd rather go full combo and do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Oh wait, oh yeah, that's right, do this, and then pass. Because that's my sort of play style. I like to go full combo and just go all out, and don't play all my cards all at once, but play a good bit, and have follow-up for next turn. I'd rather not just end with 1 negate that can't be destroyed or targeted, which is nice. But yeah, so that's going to be the Dragoon package. Making sure I don't mix up my side deck. I moved some cards around. That's going to be the Dragoon package. And of course, the Magicalized Fusion summons the other Dragoon. For the 1-up spells, that is sort of an engine. I have the 1 Sky Striker Mobilize Engage. I'm just going to move that over here. I got the 1 Sky Striker Mobilize Engage to search the 1 Sky Striker Mecha Hornet Drones. And I'm not playing any other Sky Striker spells, but I am playing an Upstart Goblin just to kind of, get an extra copy of any other card in our deck. I didn't really know where to put the Upstart Goblin in this deck profile, so I just kind of put it with the Sky Strikers because they were 1-up spells, and I was just like, Upstart fits great right here. It doesn't go with the combo right here, but like it just fits because it's a 1-up. So yeah. So that's going to be it for the Sky Striker engine. So that's our second engine in the deck. For our third engine, we have the Nadir Servants, which depending on what you send from your deck to your grave, you get other effects. But its effect is to search a Dogmatica monster. Yes. Monster from deck or grave to hand, which are the Dogmatica Ecclesia the Virtuous and the Dogmatica Fleur-de-Lis the Knighted, which if you get the Ecclesia, you can also search the Dogmatica Punishment as well. And depending on what you send with Nadir, you can also search the Shadal Schism, which the Shadal Schism is used for summoning Window. The Dogmatica package is strictly just because you can punishment, pop a card. You can do Fleur-de-Lis to negate a card and get some monsters on board for readers. If you do the punishment, you gotta remember your next turn you cannot summon from extra deck at all. So yeah, don't want to do that. But you know, sometimes you gotta activate it. So just go ahead and activate it. Generally, your one Nadir is always live, but the second one you might get generally is not live. You technically, because you can send any card. Just want to double check that. You can send one monster from your extra deck to the grave. Yeah, just any monster. So it's always live. So like if you do Nadir, send say the App Cologne to search say this one, the Knighted. Your other one will still be live, but unlikely that you're gonna get it. You can then activate it, send something else to get Ecclesia, and then Ecclesia can then search the punishment if you want to do it that way. But it's quicker just to go Nadir, send App Cologne, search Ecclesia. Then App Cologne will add Shadal Schism. So you got these two in hand now. And then you activate this to special if there's a extra deck monster on field. Its effect will then search the Knighted to your hand. So you've got Shadal and this card in your hand. And then you can special this on your opponent's turn, negate a monster. And then you can set this before you do all that. So you can summon Window on your opponent's turn as well. Lock them to one summon per turn. Now, the App Cologne, I did forget to mention, if you do the App Cologne, that's something you want to remember. The App Cologne, it does search the trap, but it makes you discard a card on resolution of card effects. So you make sure you don't want to forget that. All right, so that is package number 3 explained. All right, so package number 4 is a unique text that does work out, but it is a normal summon and it's a searcher just like Rod, so it can easily be negated. So you always want to play this card last, not opening up first hand. You want to save it till last. But sometimes you want to summon it, or you want to do it first, just to bait and negate because you got better cards in your hand. But that is the Diviner of the Herald. Basically, you only need 2 in the deck because you only play 2 targets for it in the extra deck. Its effect is when normal summoned, you can send a monster from your extra deck, a fairy, I believe, from your extra deck to the grave. Yeah, a fairy monster from your deck or extra deck to the grave, to then add a ritual monster from your deck to your hand. I believe it's deck. I always do it from deck. Yeah. Yeah, no, no, I was incorrect. Basically, you normal summon this to send a fairy monster from extra deck to grave, and then this monster gains the levels of whatever monster you sent. And depending on what you send, you gain effects based on that. So if you send Herald of the Arclight, it becomes level 6, and you get to search a ritual monster or ritual spell from your deck to your hand. If you send Apprentice, it still becomes level 6, but you get to pop a card. So, yeah, so that's where I got that a little mixed up. So along with that, generally one of these, basically one of these searches a ritual, one of these pops a card, basically. So as for the rituals, we have the Seravis Ancient and Ascended Hand Trap, which we can search in the deck. This way, if we do this first, and we try to summon the Anaconda, we do suuuuuuuuuub when we activate the Anaconda. That way we can protect our Verti Anaconda with our suuuuuuuubs. The other rituals are the 2 Illusion of Chaos, which I am working on getting the Starlight Illusion of Chaos, so I can have a total of 3 for the deck profile as well. But anyways, the Illusion of Chaos is basically, in a way, it's a brick. It does help get access to your other cards to help extend, but if you leave it in your hand, it is a brick. So you don't really want to leave it in your hand. You want to get rid of it as much as possible, unless you legit just want to put a good card back in your deck to use the Illusion of Chaos in your hand as a discard for Dragoon or Super Poly or something like that. So that's going to be it for the ritual package. So we're going to go ahead and move that out. I believe that is Dragoon, Striker, Shaddoll. That's 4 or 5 engines. I know the Shaddoll was kind of part of the other engine, but it's kind of its own engine, but it works well with each other. So that's 4 or 5 engines. And to round this deck off to 40 cards, we have 3 Goes in Match, just to kind of control the Sword Soul lineup. You know, everybody's being Sword Soul heavy right now, so there you go. Easily, just 3 easy cards you can take out. I would say when you side deck, you can take these 3 out. I'm gonna point them out here. When you side deck, you can take those 3 out. You can take out the Sky Striker package, and the 3 Sky Striker monsters in the extra deck. You can also take out 1 Magician's Rod, or depending on what you do, you can also take out the Dark Magic Attack, and you can also take out the Upstart Goblin if you need to. So a total of 8 cards. So that's 3, 6, 7, 8. But generally, you only really need to side deck the 3. So yeah. So we're going to go ahead and just pull all these out. All right. Now, for the extra deck. So, for the extra deck, we have, I know you saw it in my Brothers of Legend opening, the Starlight Dragoon. That'd be looking nice. All right. So, we've got 2 I wish we had 2 Starlight Dragoons. We have 2 Dragoons. Just simple standard for all Dark Magician decks. You need 2 Dragoons. Easy to pull out. Easy to make. Great, and get to have fun with that. So, really nice card to have. Next up, now you don't know about this one, is the Starlight Dark Magicians. Working on my max rarity Dark Magician card lineup. So we've got the 1 Dark Magicians to cap off for the Dark Magician Fusion Monsters. I guess total for Dark Magician extra deck, period. So we've got that to go with our Secrets of Dark Magic. So we'll go ahead and get the fusions out of the way. Next up we have, I guess for our Shaddoll Dogmatica package, we have 2 Winda and El Shaddoll Ab Cologne. So basically how this setup works is you'll have Nadir Servant. In fact, I will just grab it. There you go. We're going to grab that. Grab that. Grab that. Okay. So basically how this works is you'll activate Nadir Servant. You will send App Cologne to grave. You will search Ecclesia. Alright. So Nadir goes to grave. You will then activate App Cologne. You will add El Shaddoll or Shaddoll Schism to your hand, and then you can discard a card, which if you have to, discard the Ecclesia, and then you can set the Shaddoll Schism, and then you can banish on your opponent's turn. You can activate Shaddoll Schism during main phase 1, and you can banish the App Cologne and a dark monster, which you should have in your grave. That way you can summon a Winda on your opponent's main phase 1. Generally, once they normal summon once, so they can only special summon once when Winda hits the field, or after Winda hits the field. So that is something else. Now, here's the fun thing that you can do with this, is the fact that if they get rid of Schism first, and then they get rid of Winda, Winda can then activate its effect and add Schism back to hand, I believe. Yeah, if it's sent to grave, you can target a shit-all, spell, or trap in grave and add it back to hand. So then you can just set it again, main phase, banish Winda because it's a shit-all monster, and hopefully banish another dark, summon your second Winda. And you can do this again if you want to play 3 Winda, but generally 2 is pretty strong enough. So, yeah. So that is going to be it for the Shadal lineup of monsters. Next up, the targets for the Diviner of the Herald are the Elder Entity Entis and the Herald of the Arclight. Basically, Herald of the Arclight, when sent, I already kind of explained it, adds a ritual adds a ritual spell or monster from deck to hand. When Entis is sent, you get to target a card on field and pop it. So that's also really cool. Alright, next up, that's kind of it for the fusions and the one synchro. So next is all links. So for this particular lineup, before I get started, I'm just going to grab the Sky Striker spells. So generally the Sky Striker engine is the Engage, the Hornet, the Kagari, the Link Spider, and the Kaina. But I am playing with the Hayate. So basically, for the next lineup of the extra deck is Sky Striker Ace Kagari, Sky Striker Ace Hayate, and Link Spider. Now, the reason I'm playing this is because I don't really care for the extra 100 life points, or the monster cannot attack, or the monster effect is negated. With the Kaina, because it's only negated for that turn and you're summoning it on your turn, so it rarely comes up that you can do it that way. I've never really needed the other card, so I basically went for the access code play with this. So basically, to explain what this is for, is you will activate Mecha Hornet Drones first, because this card will be in your deck more than likely. You'll activate this to summon a token. You'll link the token off into the Kagari. It points upward. Kagari will then add the Hornet Drone back to hand. Then you'll link the Kagari off into the Hayate, which points downward. Hayate can attack directly, and if it does damage, you can send a Sky Striker spell from deck to grave. So if you want, you can do that first. That way you can get rid of the extra dead Sky Striker spell from your deck and send it to the grave. Then, now that because Kagari added the Hornet Drones from your hand earlier, you can then activate it, special a token, then link the token off, go into Link Spider, link those two off, and then you have the option to go into the next 2 cards, which is go for Predaplant to go for Dragoon, or don't go for Predaplant and go for the Dark Charmer Gloomy, which with this card, you can target a dark monster in your opponent's grave, and hopefully they do. Generally they will. There's a lot of dark monsters in this format, and I believe Sword Soul has a dark monster that they play too. Not a main deck, but they have one, pretty sure. So you can target their dark monster in grave, or I don't believe you target, but anyways, you special the dark monster from their grave to your field, and this is a link 2, and that one's a 3, or that one is a 1, so you add it up and make it a 3. This is also a spellcaster, so it fits the criteria to make the second card, which is Selene Queen. Selene Queen gains spell counters based on the number of spells on the field and in both players' graves. So you've already activated Hornet Drones, and hopefully you've put the Sky Striker, Mobilize, Engage, and Grave. So you legit just need your opponents to have one spell, and if not, you can set, you can probably activate a spell like Soul Servant or something like that, you know. This way you can activate Selene to target a spellcaster monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Hopefully you have one. That way you can special the spellcaster, but it has to be in defense mode. So that means the Gloomy will not work as a target. So you'll make Selene to special that spellcaster. Ignore the token. And then you'll link for 4 into our last extra deck, which is the access code. Now, I never really explained the full reason for why I'm playing Kaina. So basically this allows for the access code to go full power except for one attribute. So you've got access code on field, and now you have put Selene, which is a light, Gloomy, which is a dark, Kagari, which is fire, Link Spider, which is earth, and Hayate, which is wind. So you got 5 pops with access code that can't be responded to. Alright, and that is going to be it for the main deck and the extra deck, guys. Let me go ahead and just show you my side deck, just because I'm feeling courteous today. So, for the side deck, there you go. For the side deck, you're really going to love the last card I have to tech in for the side deck, because you're going to want to stay in for that. But for the main lineup for the side deck, we have the 3 evenly matched, just to help for going second. Sometimes good going first, mainly good going second. Mainly good going second. So, yep. Next up we have the 3 Lightning Storms. Definitely great going second. Definitely great going second. Just to activate, pop your opponent's whole back row or main board, which is really great. Good going first or second, we have the 2 Secret Village of the Spellcasters, along with a Terraforming, because we already play a field spell in our deck, so Terraforming just either adds that or adds this. But you mainly just want to get the Secret Village because you're playing Spellcasters. Generally, your opponent is not. They may have one in their deck, but generally they don't play Spellcasters. So you lock your opponent out of all spells while you control a Spellcaster. Good luck, have fun. If you don't control a Spellcaster, though, you're locked out of spells. So you want to make sure you summon that Dragoon or Dark Magician that's unaffected, you know, something like that. Next up, the tech in for basically the meta is 3 Super Poly. I have needed to use this a lot because there are a lot of dark decks running around, and Super Poly just, I get to punish them because they're playing Super Poly. And the 2 targets I have for it are the Starving Venom Fusion Dragon and the Predaplant Dragostapelia, which this card boosts its attack by your opponent's monster. It can gain your effects of your monster if it's level 5 or higher. And not to mention, it is a 28-beat stake, but if it gets destroyed at all, doesn't matter if it gets sent to grave, if it gets destroyed at all, I can pop all your special summon monsters. This one's just a negate for monster effect activation. So when you activate your monster effect, I activate this card, put a predator counter on it. Its continuous effect says that any monster with predator counter effects, their activations are negated. So basically, it is a negate. And Starving Venom is 2 dark monsters on the field to make it, and Predaplant Dragostapelia is a fusion monster and a dark monster. So there you go. Alright, now that is 14 cards. The 15th card for my extra deck side deck is basically the 3rd extra deck monster that should be a super poly target, but I just needed to put it in here because I really couldn't fit it in the extra deck as it is. If you can figure out a card to take out of the extra deck, please comment in the comment section down below and let me know, because I want to know what you think I can take out, and hopefully I can agree with you or understand why. This way I can play this card, because this card definitely comes resource handy, definitely. And that is Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal. Yeah, you're probably thinking, what, why, how, when, where? Basically, Beatrice, it requires 2 level 6 monsters, and when you, while it's on the field, you can activate its effect to detach material to send a card from your deck to your grave. And this is a quick effect. You can do it on your opponent's turn as well. So you're probably wondering, why am I playing the Xyz and how do I effectively use it? So let me go ahead and get this out and pull out, if I can find it, it's at the top. Pull out the Dark Magician Girl and the 2 Apprentices, which are all 3 are level 6s. You can special summon the DMG through alternative methods like Magician's Souls, Magician's Salvation, or by tribute summoning it. Just hardcore, had to do it before it happens. Or the most effective way would be to get 2 Apprentice Illusions to discard special these 2. Or you can do a mix of the Apprentice and the Girl, which also work well. Because if you have the Girl engrave, you definitely want to just detach this as material. So you'll get out these 2 level 6s. You'll then Xyz. You'll then go into Beatrice, always in defense. And then you'll activate her effect. You'll detach the Girl, putting it back into the game, basically, for the Soul Servant. And then you will send from deck to grave the Soul Servant. And then you can activate the Soul Servant to then draw 1 and hopefully Dark Magician, making it draw 2. So this basically lets you get into another draw 2. Or if you don't want to do the Soul Servant, you can also send any card from deck to grave. So you can send any card to help unbreak your deck. You can send Dark Magician or Girl. You can send the other Nadir. You can send Rod to help boost, like when you activate Spell Trap on your opponent's turn, you can tribute a Spellcaster. Do that. You can send a Gozen Match if it's the wrong card in your deck and you have everything you need, but you just don't want to draw it. You want to make sure you shuffle your deck, and get rid of it. Your opponent's turn, you can send the other copy as well. You can send, I already said you can send the Dark Magician. You can send, you can send the Magician's Souls to try and recur it back. Actually, no, you don't even need to send the Magician's Souls. Yeah, that's mainly just it. The main 3 are listed. You can also send the Apprentice Illusion if you wanted to. Mainly, it's just Dark Magician, Girl, Rod, Soul Servant, or any brick in your deck that you don't want to draw. So that's about it for that neat little tech in the deck. So that's going to be it, guys. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. Really did enjoy playing with this deck. I mean, it's super fun. Like, not going to lie. Like, loving this deck. And would definitely not change it, like, at all. The only thing I would probably change would be probably the Beatrice to put it in the main deck. Wish I could play 3 Nadir. I would say there's one other card I wanted to change. Probably go to 2 Circle. I don't know. The extra deck. Yeah, definitely the Beatrice. Take something out for Beatrice. Maybe the Dark Charmer. I don't know. Definitely comment in the comment section below what you think I can take out of the extra deck to make a Beatrice, or to put a Beatrice in there. I know the 2 Dragoon are definite. The 2 Windas are definite, along with the App Cologne. And the Herald of the Arclight is a definite good searcher. The Entis is optional, but it's really great. I know the Kagari, the Hayate, Link Spider, Dark, Selene, Access. The Dark is technically optional. And then you got Predaplant, and then you got the Dark Magicians as well. I know those are all needed. These are technically the 2, but the Dark really helps with Link claiming into the Access. And then the Entis really helps for popping. So if you guys can tell me really good reason what I can take out of the deck, extra deck to put in Beatrice, would be great. Don't know how well it is. I've only had the thought of testing it, haven't actually play tested it, but I know it would be really beneficial to play it in actual game. So yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. Don't forget to check the description of the video. There are a few links in there that I want you guys to click on. Make sure to go join those links on Discord. Make sure to friend me on Discord as well. But anyways, that's going to be it for the Dark Magician deck profile. Thanks, guys, for watching all the way to the end. Make sure to leave a like, comment down below, and don't forget to sub. And just kidding.